holiday has hit us, and we got more thoughts to get out. Another walk, quote unquote, walk on by. If you know, you know. And yeah, make this thing happen, man. Happy Friday to y'all. Uh, probably, I don't know how many recordings are hidden right now. But I definitely can say that I've got like quite a few held in the queue that I've just not uploaded yet for whatever reason there may or may not be. Again, happy Friday. Before I deep dive what I'm going to talk about, first and foremost, and I saw it yesterday, but didn't pay much attention to it. But then seeing it today, I think I need to do some research on it because a rabbit keeps showing up on the front of my front porch, or front, in the front yard. I've heard a friend of mine who does a podcast consistently say rabbit, rabbit, and I know there's a reference to that too. So I don't know if all this correlates. Is it a reminder or a message of Brian, stop neglecting your podcast? I don't know if it means start making moves. I don't know. But I know it means something. So there's my quote unquote assignment for the day or the weekend because got a pretty stacked queue of days coming up. And I have always noticed little things help with getting back on track. And this is something that's so wild, but also so valid. Someone else telling you to do something has relevance, but doesn't have as much weight as you telling yourself to do it and then actually doing it. I can already tell this is going to be a nice, good old windy podcast. So I got some audio cleaning to do as soon as I start to hear this one. But on a personal note, the productivity is picking up. I was able to acquire an accessory that I think will get the productivity to turn up a notch. I'm going to try something different today by using the accessory that I received as a somewhat of a stepping stone to really get the the workflow going because in some cases, in many instances, we just need something there to literally kickstart us. My personal kickstart has been, which goes quite a ways back to a post, well, not even a post, but nearly a year ago when I started the workout journey of one of my things being staying off the damn phone. And I think this is a, a press in the right direction just because I do spend a lot of time on my phone that I don't need to spend, but I'm so accustomed to quote unquote being in the know of what I don't need to know. Um, I'm gonna do something different today, and I haven't done this on a walk either at all or in a while, and that is to basically give you all a firsthand Fab Five on the go. So any of you who listen to the podcast, or any of you who talk to me on just a general conversation level, have heard me talk about the Fab Five. The Fab Five is a way to check in with yourself and sometimes check in with others around you. I did one of these pretty impromptu a couple days ago. The numbers were not very good, but there was a lot going on too. So taking taking my responsibility in that realm, if nothing else. So mental, professional, personal, creative, and a feeling. And the feeling, if you have or have not looked this up before, there is a link. I use the Calm version of it, but just search for feelings wheel. There's a feelings wheel that's out there that will you can look at, find the word that distinguishes how you feel, and you run with it. So without further ado, let's drop these five. So on a mental, I'm about a 6 or a 7. There's been some internal morale that's increased over some days, and just me not being as in my head about stuff. Random but relevant. A friend of mine put up a post about attending an art location, and her sharing that motivated me to want to check out this said art location because I haven't been there in quite a few years. So that increased the mental morale just a tad. Personal, I'd say personal, I'm at about a, personal is about a 5. And personal has hit that point just because of the simple fact that I've I've obviously been aware that there are systems in place, but the systems have not been utilized or properly given the tender loving care that they deserve. Wholehearted, honest truth. That's more of a me thing, and that's no one. That's that's by far not me sitting and saying, "Woe is me. Why isn't this a readily available thing?" So um, systems have been placed, routines have been acknowledged, but even something as simple, and I'm saying this because it's been very noticeable. My bullet journal slash planning method has been a joke for just my own reasons. It's not been oh, it's everyone else's fault or I can't do it because I set so much time aside to do so many different things. Just don't knock it out. And that, if nothing else, that has to change. And I'm aware of that. Um, this is also somewhat of a impromptu reflection, which I've been noticing more people doing these type of reflections, but this is my personal audio based version of a reflection. To say what I was saying. That's where I'm at with that. With personal, professional, professional is at about a 6 or 7. It was pretty low for a little bit. I had some personal morale. Um, I know for a fact, and I gotta really sit with this. I gotta hustle and rumble through. the remainder of this month and give it my best effort. Only for me to obviously end the year on a high note, because that's what it's all about. I always love when I take this walk this direction because there's a sign that I pass by that says "Be kind," and for some reason I needed to see that today on for a myriad of reasons that might be talked about at some point. So yeah, that's what I'm at professionally. Creatively, creatively, I need to give myself grace. And I know it's like, oh boy, heard this story before. When are we going to start giving ourselves grace? And from a numerical standpoint, I will say it's at about a 5 or 6, because you may not realize it. Me taking the time out of my walk to actually record these these voice notes, and it's funny because they're dual based in the fact that I can use them as personal rewinds to go back and listen. But they're also resourceful because of the simple fact that I've created them as a source of content that will, in theory, end up being placed on my podcast. So I've been personally, quote unquote, latched and attached to just the theory or the thought of, oh, creating content has to be recording podcasts, or it has to be designing logos and working on websites. Like even tomorrow, I have which y'all are gonna hear all these like in a whole smorgasbord of days over the next couple days, is me, if you will, like I have a meeting with someone who has been kind of like my mentee with designing, and it's been like, oh great, I'm gonna mentor someone, and I haven't designed anything in a long time. Like I've worked on little projects here and there. If y'all recall, I've been doing the Udemy courses. That took a break for quite a few reasons, but haven't really honed in on giving her, the proper TLC to help her with jump starting what she's working on. So hopefully that will all change over the next few weeks. I'm pretty excited about that. So creatively, yeah, about 5. And I think that will, personally, I believe that will boost and increase as I really can get, because it's almost like a domino effect, right? Because once one thing's completed, or you got something like truly knocked out and taken care of, the rest kind of just flows accordingly. And that's what I'm beginning to realize, what I'm beginning to see more than anything. Uh, and a feeling. Feeling is hopeful. And I know a lot of people will be like, haven't wouldn't have expected that one from you, or not not marked on my board. I timed this walk pretty good today. I hit the full 15. But I'm very hopeful. I'm hopeful that everything's gonna get done. I'm hopeful that the connections that I've battled through will succeed. And I'm hopeful that there's it's kind of like the age old phrase, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Because let's face it, we're not just walking down the tunnel just to walk. We're walking to get to the end of the tunnel. And for the longest time, I never understood theory of the idea. when people look at it as, you're just living and live. There's a purpose we all have. We just sometimes don't take the true time to invest in that purpose. And added bonus, we are the purpose. But we're the purpose, we're the investment, however you want to collaborate those words. But you have to, more than anything, be mindful of that, be aware of it, and give yourself the opportunity and space to realize that. And at times, I think as people, we're consistently in what I always call go mode. Some people use hamster wheel, whatever, but stopping and truly, as they say, smell the roses. But yeah, I really am trying to heighten the morale, heighten the energy more than anything, embrace the more optimistic mindset and not be so quote unquote down on myself because there are those days where it just ain't in me. And I'll say this and I'll share this and then I'm a roll. Uh, really take that time to sit with yourself through whatever it is you're working through or have going on. Wow, I knew that rap was gonna come back. It's been the same one. That's the crazy part. Um, but I really think we just I'm gonna do something that I normally wouldn't do. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna end this now. But just work through the process, man. Like work to get through. It's so crazy because I had a whole thought of what I was gonna share, and literally the rabbit just randomly runs and just sits in the yard. Um, probably can't, but we'll see if I can take a picture of it because I think people think I'm just talking crazy, and the truth is that I'm not. It would be insane. Oh wait, I gotta snipe this one good. Something tells me, oh wow, okay, I will give Apple credit on that one. So when I took the photo, I was like, well, probably the voice note stopped recording, but it kept recording. So I got a quote unquote flick in the middle of my voice message. But okay, I'm rambling, and I know when I ramble what happens next, so I'm not gonna turn this into like a 30-minute recording that shouldn't be a 30-minute recording. So gonna get this edited, packed up uh today. Today is the what is today? Today's the 10th. Fingers crossed, we will be back to a functioning schedule with the podcast. Not this weekend, but next weekend. And I only say that, or I'm only standing on that because I've realized that I've got like a lot of audio to upload or that's waiting to be uploaded, and I have not done anything with it. So between those recordings needing to be uploaded, as well as getting kind of just an update, like my normal sit in the library, play with a koosh ball, drink water, talk, I've not like done my fair share. And before I hit that 30-minute mark, because another ramble's coming up, but I want to say I also have found what I think will be a resourceful light slash lamp to use in my space. And I'm saying this only because I have one area, so I have two areas that I'm frequently in. Obviously, one place that I lay down, and I have one place where I am always creating and or working. So the space that I work and create in, that's been on autopilot. I've just recently got like right before I went to Afrotech, I found a nice overhead lamp that I'm using and have gotten attached to. So I'm going to be using that more frequently. Um, and that's been like, no pun intended, that's been a game changer on so many levels. Um, I've thought about it, and it's still like an idea that I'm open to. I may use the one that I have, like that's an overhead view of the full desk, but still use like the smaller one that I have that can kind of like focus on one area. Because and a friend of mine has said this to me before, and I'm beginning to accept it, not just because she said it, I'm accepting because it's me. And that is, I'm a bigger fan of natural light. So I like, if I can use outdoor light, great, I'll use it and I'm good. However, if I'm having to be in a space to not use lights, like a room light itself, I would rather just use a light that gives off good light for a room. Case in point, beginning of the year, if any of you have been around or heard me talk about it, it was a ring light addict. I still am. Um, I don't use it as much now, but I still keep my ring light and I still keep my tripod and create with those resources accordingly. But for my room, I think I need a light that will help with, hey, if it's late, I want to just kind of stay up and write a little bit, have that available, call it a day. Also, the idea, and people sleep on these type of things. If you have a light and or lamp that you can set a timer to and just let it rock, I'm gonna show my age and then I'll shut up. But you have these different lights. Well, I'm not even gonna say lights. There are timers that you can buy that you can connect a light to, and that timer pretty much becomes like your ally in the sense of like, hey, at this time I need to turn on, this time I need to turn off. Also, another thing, and I don't know, I'm on a tangent a little bit now, but this isn't even a tangent. This is just something I got excited about. I recently bought a alarm clock. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a big fan of alarm clocks. However, I've realized in the process, why did I buy an alarm clock when I have a wall clock that has the function to be an alarm, and I tested it out uh this morning, and I'm like, maybe this might have to become my go-to. The trade-off though is I have to remember that it's going to be set to work during the week, but I need to make sure it's not set every day because obviously on weekends, like most people, I might want to sleep in and not get up at 5 o'clock just to get up. So those are the things I just had to remember. But all right, I'm gonna be quiet because if I don't, I'm gonna keep going. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Like I said, all of these will be uploaded. I guess today is the 10th. Give me a week. Give me 2 weeks. I hope, all things considered, I'll have this all up by before Thanksgiving. And if I don't, hold this in my head, not my heart. All right, y'all. I'm gonna be quiet. Bye.